Gewa pason soparche range semne yosodo tene sange tembaye.
Do not commit unwholesome action, engage in perfect wholesome action, subdue one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. So as I mentioned yesterday, your mind is the one. Your mind is the main creator, main doer, or that create your happiness, create your suffering, produce or create your enlightenment, your hell, your samsara, your nibbana, your happiness, problem, your daily life. So everything. Who creates your enemy? Who creates your friend? Who creates your stranger? All that. Yeah. Everything you create, your mind creates, comes from your mind. Yeah. So from unsubdued mind, then all the sufferings rises. And causes suffering to others, unhappiness to others. So like that, not only yourself. And from subdued mind, peaceful mind, subdued mind, then produce your happiness to yourself, happiness to others. Happiness, temporary, moment-to-moment happiness, daily life happiness. From there, all the temporary happiness of samsara, all the ultimate happiness, liberation from samsara, and then peerless happiness, total cessation of all the obscurations, and completion of all the realizations. Yes, your mind comes from your mind. Just like yourself, myself, nobody wants suffering, everybody wants happiness. even people who commit suicide, you think they're like suffering? No. Even the people who commit suicide would jump over the river from the San Francisco bridge. Many people go there to jump in the river, and some try to jump, but cannot drop on the ocean, so they get caught or bridge. So it happened. Anyway, in Brazil, there's a huge Jesus statue, Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro. Anyway, a huge Jesus statue, or I think a stone, on the hill. Then on the way, the dark, the car goes into the mountains. So there are many people also die, commit suicide, or I don't know. There's a lot of peppers, many peppers on the road. You could drive car. Anyway, I don't know what. So anyway, so different places where many people could commit suicide. But you see, you think they're like suffering? No, they do that for happiness. They believe because some problem, relationship or something, the husband found not wife, not a woman, or wife found not the husband, or not a man, or some whatever, or business problem failed in business, or something. You see, then that's, you see, look at that, the big problem, huge problem. It's actuated by the mind and by superstition, and then you see. So then you see, you believe that if you die, then there's nothing, no suffering. You believe in that, no suffering after you die. If there's no suffering, there's no you don't exist, you don't have suffering. That's what the person believes. And you see, so they commit suicide. So you think it's for suffering? No, it is for happiness. Person did kill oneself for happiness, thinking of the death. After you die, there's no you there. So kind of like happiness. There's no suffering. So you see, for happiness. But person never. Even person who intellectually believes there's reincarnation karma, normally you say, who learned intellectually, even that person, so something happens in life, suddenly you are most attached, wife leaves you, or most attachment husband leaves you, or say, boyfriend or girlfriend or something, that you can't even, sort of never wished or never expected or something. So, then the category, you see only that problem, only that. And that become a huge like mountain, exactly like balloon. You blow, balloon itself is so small, but you blow bigger and bigger. So your superstition blow up your problem. So all of that, and then so you said all of that problem. So that problem is huge. Then you thought better kill yourself, and no problem. So it's for happiness, done for happiness. It's like see, you're bitten by a snake, and then you're supposed to cut that infection where the snake bite. You see, you're supposed to cut that so that doesn't affect so that you can live longer. So they cut that where the snake that's bitten. But you see, so you do that in order to live a long time and healthy. So it's a little bit like that, you see. That time you don't think, even you intellectually believe there's reincarnation karma, maybe intellectually you say about it, or when you drop those problems in a relationship or health, business, whatever, or then you say, even intellectually, see, even you talk about it, but then when the problem comes, you see, then he elaborates exaggerates the problems, and that's huge for you, like mountain press you. Then think communist society is the peace. So don't think that there's a continuation of consciousness. Even the body doesn't whatever. The mind, that's a continuity of mind. You see, I don't know what they can be also outside non-human being who harms your Dharma, and they can be, but also, so it's nothing else. So that you don't have to experience problems. So that communist society yourself. So there's no suffering, stuff like that. Not only the people who do not believe in reincarnation karma, who don't know, even the people who intellectually talks about it normally, and then when the problem comes on you, then that time is, I think the subject, it has not been actually really in the heart. Even though you talk about it, but it has not been really in your heart. We didn't realize it. So like that, it's okay. So many people in the West, many people commit suicide is because I'm not knowing what's the meaning of life. So many people are very famous actors, singers. Many famous people are very, so many people suicide, and so that's basically not knowing meaning of human life. So much problem is not knowing meaning of human life. Born human being but doesn't know why meaning of human life. That's the basic problem. Not knowing purpose, that meaning of human life. Not knowing that. Not knowing that. Not realize that. And then even somebody learned intellectually, but still see the problem comes on you. Then next year, that's far away. Then you just think like you never met Dharma, like you never met Dharma, never met Dharma at all, never know Dharma at all. So so you do like what I explained before. That's the only problem. You don't think karma, you don't think reincarnation, and what you started, you don't think that. So that becomes just intellectual, and then you don't think when you have problem when you have to think, that time you don't think. So then the so it becomes ordinary, nothing special. So you come in society, so that there's a problem is so huge. So then better come in society, and then there's no real understanding. So believe that there's a consciousness after the continued consciousness. Continued consciousness, which has no beginning and which has no end. Even after enlightened, there's like continued consciousness enlightened. Even though not enlightened, there's a continuity of samsaric mind, suffering mind, continuity of samsaric mind. You done that. You done that, you don't think. So blockage in the mind at that time. So some of the people who never learned Dharma, even you met Dharma a long time ago, 10 years, 15 years, or some year ago, but then when the problem comes on you, that's it. There's no difference from people who never met Dharma. That I want to tell that one point. One problem comes on you, then you know what you are able to practice Dharma or not. That's that time. That time. Yeah. For example, even you're talking of compassion or something for others, but then when somebody criticizes you, when somebody says bad things about you, then you see whether you're practicing compassion or angry. Whether you're practicing compassion that time yourself or not, or you practice anger. So it's very interesting. Even like myself, you talk about compassion, blah, 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 blah. But then somebody criticizes to you, then you know what you practice compassion, not practice anger, like other people who know nothing about Dharma. Even worse than that. There in the West, there are many good-hearted people. There's no reincarnation, karma, all those things, subjects. But there are many good-hearted people in the West. No. Very sincere. Things what you do sincerely, not politic, not what do you call that other word? What do you call that? You show something outside, but it's not. Huh? Disintegrate. Yeah, not political. Yeah. Huh? Deceiving. I was taught political smile. One nun, she was nun, a Canadian nun, N. She told me, I was building Gomba Elaudo, which related to, well, I don't remember my past life, but the Lama said my past life, and that place was cave called Laudo, cave. But interesting thing is that not just ordinary cave, where the animals are asleep night time, not that. But in the mountain, you see, the Himalaya mountain, where I was born, in the past, many yogis, they practiced the cave and its realization. But nowadays, no yogis, animals, yaks, and and zoo and the animals that sleep in the cave nowadays. Not before we are yogis. Well, that's to describe you Himalayan mountain caves. In these days. So anyway, the called Laudo is a Pema Sambhava. I'm not going to mention it, but the second, enlightened being, second mention, which I came the Buddha after the whose kindness, they build the strip about that, and then do that. They made a prayer for that, and all the Buddhism in Tibet was able to spread to the Sonten, and then the minister helped, and Sangarashta who helped the vows, ordination, the teaching Buddha, and then the Kaswari. Yeah, probably Yogi Pema Sambhava came from India, so it's based by the spirits who interfere, to destroy the monastery in nighttime, daytime, people. Oh, then because they subdued, Pema Sambhava came, subdued them, and then not only that, but many places, many important places in Tibet, so much spirits harmed to spread Dharma, so he went to many places and subdued him, hooked him, turned into a Dharma prayer, gave pledge to not harm being, to not harm the Buddha Dharma, and to protection, things like that, and so Pema Sambhava, now the Buddhism not only revived restored in India, Nepal, but then the rest of the world, spread in the rest of the world. So much so that due to kindness, Pema Sambhava, and even myself have met with Dharma, it's by kindness, Pema Sambhava. So anyway, and we all meeting with the Dharma, it's about kindness, Pema Sambhava, and so I'm forgetting my talk, then because and taught me a political smile. So she was, when I was building the monastery up there, so during those summer time, so she was a bookkeeper, my bookkeeper. She was a bookkeeper job that was she did. So she was a bookkeeper, louder for me. So she told me to, you move out this one. There's no smile from the heart, but she does well. So that's a political smile. In the heart, that person means, so want to harm for that, then smile for me. Joking. So anyway, what I'm saying. So this cave, so in the old time, Pema Sambhava came short time in the cave. The reason why Pema Sambhava came, because this has in the center where the nectar leaks, even sun shining weather, no raining, in the middle of this there's wax, like wax, you put wax like that, the drop comes from there. So in the past life they put one table, another table, then vase, then receive the nectar in the vase, drop by drop. So with that order, then he initiated the local people, long life initiation. So like that, there was a story. There was a mark, like the glue there, like that. But that is not that allowed the cave, but there's a rolling. They were lived 7 years on a mountain. There's a like famous cave. It's a hat, shaped like the hat, and then rock. The inside there's a cave, and where the drop comes, it's a wax put there like that. Then there, everybody who cleaned river sanctuaries is instant puja. Very common to do the other sector, Nima and things like that, very popular there. So, so if you clean the floor, room, the cave room, then you do instant puja, then drop comes in that. But the person who took me when I was very small, he didn't do that. He didn't clean, he didn't do instant puja. So there was a mark, yeah, but the drop didn't come. But that's like for everybody, it comes. So Labudu was Pema Sambhav came there for a short time, and then because of he blessed, so because sun is the nectar. Why the cave is nectar coming? It's because the reason because that proof is that. So that yeah. I was going to say. So you have to remember. When the thought comes due to some problem, when the thought comes to society, to yourself, then when that comes, then remember the meaning of life that is mentioned in the Lamrim at the very beginning. How this human body is so precious, qualified to 80 freedom and richness, then how this is so meaningful, three ways, great purpose, great success or great purpose to achieve, and then there is you can purify the negative karma cause of the rebirth and cause to be reborn in hell and grow as animal, suffer for a long time, the biggest suffering and the unbelievable length of time. So you can purify the negative karma of that, and you practice the morality which causes it to evolve, thereby hidden body, good body, the happy as a happy transformer, rebirth of the happy transformer being. Oh, they were hidden body, or even the pure land, all of the present Buddha, you see, all like that. So that is the first great purpose and the sublime success. You know, the second sublime success is you've been in samsara from beginningless rebirth, so now you're free from samsara, all the oceans of samsara suffering. So you achieve the everlasting happiness or the liberation from samsara forever. Not just a holiday, few years, few months, few weeks, then come back and something, not like that. Forever, happiness forever. That's real happiness. That's the second sublime purpose or great purpose. Then the third one is Not only yourself, do not fall down in the Lord Nirvana, the great Nirvana, the total cessation of obscuration, gross subtle, and the completion of all the realization, Sangye. So you issue that for the sentiments there. You free the number of sentiments from the lower realm suffering, and you free them from oceans of samsara suffering, and then you bring them to the full enlightenment, to the Buddhahood by yourself alone. For that reason, so to achieve a state of omniscience yourself. That's the sublime success. From three sublime success, third one, great meaning of life, the greatest meaning of life. So must remember, when the total communist society comes, you must remember the meaning of human life. Meaning of human life. So this is so many people in the West in the communist society, So no matter how much $1 billion you have, no matter how much $1 million to $1 billion you have, it doesn't help then. The relationship problems, the failed business, whatever, many problems are there. Then you see all that problem, then you exaggerate like mountains. Or then communist society comes by the simplest one, communist society, and you jump off the roof or the floor, whatever you see. Then that time must remember, must think of the meaning of human life. Meaning of him. So many people do not know about it. So that's why they many people do have no idea what the meaning of a human. Why you are born a human being? What is the purpose to you're born a human being? They don't know. One big example is after the war, America did war in Afghanistan. South Arabia. Iraq. After war, saw the explosion of bombs and this and that. Suffering to yourself here and all that, from others, then so many people get killed, years, others. You see all kinds of things. And those who didn't die yet, those who didn't get killed in that, also then they come back, they come back, even though they see their family, that not enough. So they don't. So then they come to think the purpose of their life. They could not see the purpose of life. Why they human beings? They could not see the purpose of human life. Then they make, after they come back, then they think of their life. So they could not see purpose. What life is for? They could not see. So there is this unbelievable, most unbelievable terrifying. This Iraq, the war. So then they come back. Then every day, every day 25 armies communist society. That's something I heard. Number of men. That's what they said, but may not be exact, more or less. But every day. So like that, their mind is that they couldn't tell. They don't know meaning of life. What is meaning of life? Their mind become hard to say. Sort of very disturbed. The other way is make think of meaning of life, and then very disturbed. Very disturbed life. Really doesn't know. So many people dying by communist society, many armies. So then the government introduced mindfulness. The government introduced mindfulness meditation. I think the basic thing about mindfulness is that you don't think of past, you don't think of future. You only think a moment. Only think at the moment, but you don't stop being awareness past, awareness future, thinking future. So only in the moment. So that helps a little bit for the armies. So it was explained to me by one army who was not involved so much in killing, but he was involved very high technician at this in the army. This the special forces, very high technique. He was more involved in that. So so meditation was advertised by the government to the armies. So the mind was so disturbed, really touching up her life. So he is so in the Kasa. Internet, yeah, he's so retreat place in Nepal, it's Laudo. It's mentioned. He saw place is Laudo. So he came to Nepal. But he was Buddhaya somehow. He at Root Center. He was working in the office. Then he came here. When I went to Laudo, then he came to Laudo. He doesn't talk much. He's quiet, he stays quiet. Because I heard he came from the army, So I called him in the cave and asked him questions. Then this is what he explained to me in the cave. So then after that he was going to go to again work at the office. Then I heard last time in one of America, he was in the group that people protested. There's a side of the black people, that side, because the government or there's want to bring big pipe from Canada to America. So he was against the group that protested for that. Then I didn't hear where he was gone. Anyway, so very interesting. Yeah, what's happening. The armies after coming back after their lives, come back from war. So like that. So must remember the meaning of human life. As I explained, must remember that. It's very important to remember that time, because sometimes there's also outer, it's came from mind, but there's the non-human beings who become conditioned to harm you. So that stops the mind to aware meaning of human life. These things for you to remind the Dharma, to practice, so we can influence your mind to stop. There's also outside, but it came from your mind, basically. That and then consciousness, it doesn't stop, doesn't disappear when the body disappears. No, the consciousness continues, formless, colorless, shapeless, but it continues. Clear, perceived object. So it continues. No, it has no beginning, it has no end. So you have to remember that. So then, when you remember that, then of course, after death, there's a body of the happy transformer gripping, there's a suffering transformer gripping. So that's only two rebirths. The only two way to go for all the beings and so that depends on karma. Say what was created, negative karma or good karma, or the strongest negative karma or virtuous karma. So depending on that, that decides which rebirth you'll take. So that helps. So then, many of us then even by knowing Dharma, then still most karma is negative karma. And then that's the strongest karma. Not only a majority of karma is negative, so like that. So that's because there's good thoughts and bad thoughts. You see, motivation, if you examine the motivation in daily life, what rises, what good thought, this is the mind, obscure mind, and disturbing thoughts, mostly anger, attachment. Attachment is what usually rises for us beginners. There's no question about people who have in Dharma. So then the virtue thoughts are very rare, and very rare. For us general people, and so like that. So therefore, the action from that, then mostly negative karma, even strong. When even the virtuous action you collect, but it's weak. So like that, then the result, suffering and happiness, the suffering, the result of negative karma, the suffering, including large illness, things like that. And so of course, you can purify. Negative karma is collected from beginningless rebirth. You can purify. Now this, while you have this human rebirth, the most precious one, I met with Dharma, then here you have opportunity, as we have wisdom, so Dharma wisdom, not wisdom how to make guns, not how to make airplanes, or not wisdom to Dharma wisdom. What is the cause of suffering? What is negative karma? Which are negative karma? Which are good karma? What is to practice? What is to abandon? If you like happiness, you don't like suffering, then what is the thing to practice? What is the thing to abandon? So with Dharma wisdom. What's it then? Now I forgot again. So remember, so when the thought of communist society comes, must remember these things. Karma. Write down in your notebook, on your diarrhea book. In your diarrhea book. So that it helps you to remember, or that you forget. So that protects your That really gives you meaning. That really gives you meaning, and it gives you happiness in your life. So that's such a small problem. You exaggerate, you make huge amounts, then you see, and then you go down, you can decide, well, this is precious in my life. So precious, that you can achieve that three great purpose, happiness, you can achieve. Then you destroy this. This is one time. This is one time. Opportunity one time. Whatever happiness you wish, you can achieve. Enlightenment. There is some sort of pure land. So that you destroy this, you stop this. This is one time. Well, this unbelievable opportunity. It's happiness. You're going to choose as unbelievable opportunity, then you stop. This one time, for you one time. Then even this, you stop. So you make a very ignorant decision, terrible, most terrible decision. Then you wonder, with our permanent home is a hell-hungry animal. Our permanent home is that, not a human being, not devil, in samsara, not that. So this is about the perfect experience transition. It's about this one time, where you can achieve all the three purpose of happiness for your life. So you destroy this. So, all like that. Then you see that is thinking yourself, your own happiness. That's not without talking, causing happiness, numberless helpless, causing happiness. Happiness. Happiness of this life, future life. All the future life. Then liberation from samsara, then enlightenment. You're causing all this happiness after enlightenment through numberless helpings, numberless hungerers, numberless animal, numberless human beings, numberless surabhi, numberless asura, numberless intimate living. Those who are from beginning is about suffering. So now you haven't gone through. I think you haven't gone through Lord and suffering in particular, then there were human being sufferings, except your own experience. But what Buddha explained is a summary. You see, in the different sura, asura, their problems. The human beings have also gone through after suffering, what they've gone through from beginners. So to free them from all the sufferings, to cause all the happiness after enlightenment. Now this is second purpose is unbelievable. That makes your lives most beneficial, most beneficial, to be useful for numberless sentiments, to be free from all the suffering of samsara. Bring to enlightenment, can make. So how you can commit suicide yourself? No way. So this is what you can help the numberless sentiments. What you can help by having this human body. You destroy this, then you stop benefiting from numberless sentiments. But you stop. You stop all the happiness for them after enlightenment to cause them. So you stop all that. What you can do for others, but you stop. There's no more ignorant than that. There's no more ignorant tradition than that. There's no more stupid tradition than that. You see, most stupid. Oh, like that. So, sorry. Okay, I should stop here. Yeah. Okay. So that's why, subdue one's mind. This is teaching Buddha. So at the beginning it says, engage, stop any unwholesome action, give up engage in perfect wholesome action. Then you see, all that essence is to subdue one's mind. So how you can do those things, the true subduing by your mind. So all the suffering comes from your mind. All the suffering comes from the mind. All the happiness comes from mind. So it's not the God. It's the the mind, and the relation to yourself, your own suffering come from your mind, your own happiness, everything come from your mind. So your mind is the creator, you are the creator, you are the doer. I think I mentioned here, rather than waiting, I just mentioned here. You see, from sorry. Yeah. There are numberless Buddhas and numberless Bodhisattvas. Before they became Bodhisattva, even Bodhisattvas, before they became Bodhisattva, by having generated realization, bodhicitta, precious thought of enlightenment, post-sentient being. So they become Bodhisattva by generating this realization. So this realization comes from great compassion. By understanding the numberless helpings, hungry ghosts, animals, human beings, asuras, intermediate beings. Experiencing the suffering of pain, essence of suffering of rebirth, old age, sicknesses, and death. So they are like that. Like that, and then the catcher. Experiencing suffering, which one do not want, don't like. Devoid of happiness, which one like. Devoid of happiness, which one like. Not with like means happiness. Not the devoid, but happiness. Devoid of happiness, happiness which one like. Oh, it's all like that. And then even one achieve pleasure, but no satisfaction, no contentment. So much suffering. It's like after you got $100, you need $1,000. If you got $1,000, you got 10,000. You want to get 20,000, and then million. After million, then there are 100 million. Goes like that. Goes on like that. Within this dissatisfaction. All the stuff. Also, yeah. And then, then the second suffering of samsara is all the samsara pleasures. They will just suffering will change. One thing is, for example, after meeting a friend, after you meet loving friend, your loving friend, or the parents or whatever meeting, then it ends separation. So the meeting may be happy, the end with separation sad. So then after collecting, it ends finishing, after birth and death. So there are many like this. It ends up with the kind of it can end up generally kind of bad, but except husband or wife or something. Say, beginning beginning is not meeting. So you want to meet, you want to be together. A meeting, then not only meeting, but you want to be together. So that's like unbelievable dream. Your unbelievable dream to meet and then to not only not to be together. Then sooner or later, after that, the happiness is something you can bear to not achieve that. That is, you can't wait for that happiness. Then after being together, if you succeed, after spending millions of dollars, many gifts and many things to impress the person like you, and then even they succeed. Then after you live together, then 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 you come to know the person. Then you really come to know the person, how much self-chasing though that person is. Doesn't really love you, doesn't really no concern on your happiness, your needs. Person has so much on his own, her own needs and happiness, and so much suffering thought, and then you see the mistakes more after you live together. You find some after 1 day, 2 days more, you find more. Then you find more mistakes after being together. And then after some time, after a few weeks or a month, it doesn't mean have to take that much month. Sometimes even 1 day is enough. So then that person is the one that you want to be free from that. Can't wait, even second can't wait. At the beginning can't wait.